What is good? It is your boy Pablo Gray, and we are back with another reaction video. Sorry, I kind of butchered that, man. It's been a minute since I did a fucking video, but yeah, man. As you can see, I'm in a different location. I tried to be outside today. I'm sitting on somebody's bench. Hopefully, they don't get mad and come out here and remove me from the premises. But yeah, all right, man. So let's get into it. The title of the video is Tucker Carlson. Obviously, Google tries to censor content it disagrees with. Honestly, man, I've been saying this shit for a while, but luckily it's on the news now, so somebody's saying some shit about it. But before we get into it, if you like what I'm doing here, like, comment, subscribe. I'm trying to, update y'all with new content as much as I possibly can. I've been kind of busy these last couple of days, man. I've been babysitting, doing all types of stuff, trying to get all of this going at the same time. So, yeah, man, let's get into it.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. Last night we did something we don't do very often. We spent the entire first block of the show on a single topic. We told you about Black Lives Matter. We told you what Black Lives Matter believes. We told you what the group plans to do to our country as they amass unprecedented amounts of power. The segment went on for nearly 20 minutes, and by the standards of this business, it was probably way too long. There was a lot to say. But in the end, a lot of people saw it. The show turned out to be the most watched hour of primetime television in the country yesterday. It outrated everything else: cable and broadcast, news, entertainment, and sports. And we never talk about ratings, and we're definitely not telling you this to brag about it. There's already more than enough bragging in television, that's for sure. In any case, nothing in television lasts forever. Next week, we'll probably get beaten by a 3 a.m. re-air of Gilligan's Island.
He right, man. He live in an age where, again, man, you see me going this way. This is where the mic is. But we live in a world where information is like, it's the microwave age. It's instant, done just like that, and it's gone. And if it's not that important, it's not gonna stay that long. And this is how you know what's really important to people or not. Because ratings say everything. People are gonna watch what they find important, and they're gonna demand what they find important. So if they're not doing that, then obviously this shit's not that important to them. Just saying.
Or a 4-hour Love Boat retrospective. That'll probably happen. The point of telling you this is to remind you that you are not alone. You may feel like you are. Suddenly your opinions qualify as crimes. Dare to say what you think at work and you will be fired in the middle of a recession. Write what you think online and you will be silenced by the big tech companies. So you keep your views to yourself. You have no choice. A lot of Americans are doing that right now. They're staying quiet. And of course, that's the point of censorship: to keep people isolated and alone, to prevent a consensus from forming that challenges those in charge. If you're forced to shut up, they can do what they want to you and your country.
That is a fact, man. And we going hard on you bitch ass niggas at Google. That go for YouTube and anybody related to the Alphabet company. If you don't know what the Alphabet company is, it is the parent company to Google, who owns Google, YouTube, and everything under and around that umbrella. We coming at y'all. Y'all not censoring shit. Y'all not stopping our First Amendment rights. Eat a dick, dog.
That's why they do it. But last night's show suggested they have not yet succeeded, though they're trying. Millions and millions of Americans agree with you. You are not crazy. Your views are not evil. What is happening to this country right now is completely and totally wrong. And that will be obvious to everyone someday when our French Revolution has ended. For now, most are too afraid to say that. One of the reasons we get to say that, and often do, is that Fox News is an independent company. We are not dependent on the progressive tech monopoly, Google, to make a living here. Thank heaven.
So if y'all not understanding what Tucker Carlson just said, as you know, there are a lot of news companies. You got CNN, you got MSNBC, you got shit. Honestly, they all fall under the same shit, but they, like he said, those companies are not necessarily independently owned. They are owned by somebody. CNN is owned by AT&T, and I forgot who AT&T is owned by, and they whatever the fuck they say goes, bro. So they're not under their, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure Fox News is bought out by Disney, and if Disney ain't going with it, I mean, we gonna look this up, Tucker. But that's what he's saying. He's saying Fox News is independent, but if I'm not mistaken, Fox is bought out by Disney. So unless Disney got a parent company, I think y'all dependently own on Disney.
Most media companies are dependent on Google. Google controls 70% of all online advertising. So if you're in the news business, you obey Google. When Google tells you to do something, you do it. You have no choice. They can bankrupt you in a minute, and they.
So that's what he meant. Because, like I said, I'm pretty sure they're owned by Disney, but I think he's saying he doesn't need Google as a advertisement in order to put his stuff different places. Just like with YouTube, which is Google. Fox News doesn't. What he's saying is, I'm not saying this. Fox News doesn't rely on Google to put his videos in recommended sections and on Google timelines when people go search up. Google tries to censor, or when they looking up something that obviously Fox News has covered and somebody searched it and their video doesn't pop up. They don't rely on that. They have a decent enough fan base. At least that's what he's saying.
They will. In all of human history, no single entity has ever had more control over information than Google does right now.
That is facts.
So if you're worried about the concentration of power in the hands of a few unaccountable actors, and you very much should be, nobody has more unchecked power than Google does. This afternoon, NBC News decided to use some of Google's power to shut down a couple of its competitors. Power is useful for that. An NBC employee called Adelle McComb forwarded Google executives a screed from a left-wing activist group in England denouncing two sites, Zero Hedge and the Federalist, as, quote, racist. Google immediately took the bait, of course. The company threatened to ban both news organizations from Google's ad platform.
Let me pause it right there. And this is what I've been preaching about and telling y'all worried about. Y'all listening to fact checkers, whoever the fuck these fact checkers are, and I've been preaching about how the truth is controlled. So whatever you think is truth, whatever you think might be science, whatever you think might be something in the book that you can look up, you have to understand someone had to get that approved. They didn't just write it and say, okay, now that I wrote it, this is it. How it was supposed to work with just about everything, and if you've been to college, you know what I'm talking about, especially if you're in grad school. In order to get something published, your paper, your documentation, your dissertation has to go to a board of a bunch of people who have to look over it, and if they all agree and say that this information is what they agree on, it doesn't matter if it's accurate, it doesn't matter, it ultimately does not matter if it's truth. It matters if all parties agree upon it. That is it. It does not matter, man. The paper can say if you go to Antarctica, you're going to experience 100-degree weather Fahrenheit. And as long as everybody on that board agrees with it and they publish it, that is now truth. Or at least what you think is truth. It does not matter what's actually factual. It matters what people decide on. And it's the same thing what's going on right here with Google. These people, NBC just told Google, oh, these people are wrong, right? We have no clue if that's the case. But because they have that type of influence, whatever information they was putting out, whether it was the truth or not, it just got stopped. And this is the problem that's facing, because there are people out there who are speaking truth. And honestly, it's up to you to depict on what is truth and what's not. It's not up to anyone else. When you in high school and you obviously know people are spreading a lie and a rumor around, you obviously know, I don't have to believe this because I know it's not the truth. It doesn't sound like the truth. You make it what the hell you want it to. You take from it what you want. That's how life works. There's lies and there's truth. You have to be presented with both so you can know the one from the other. It's the yin and yang property. If all you know is yin, you wouldn't know what yang look like when you see it, and vice versa. And that's just what it is. And this is the problem that's going on. How can you distinguish the truth from the fake if you can't be exposed to both? But go on.
In other words, to cut off their revenue. Adelle McComb was thrilled by this. She immediately fired off a victory tweet boasting about the censorship she had inspired. She called the two sites far-right. That's a term that has no meaning but does suggest some kind of immoral behavior that Adelle McComb Fraser disapproves of. At the end of her tweet, she thanked the activist who helped her to silence competing views, quote, for their hard work and collaboration, exclamation point, hashtag Black Lives Matter, with 3 raised fists at the end.
Listen, man, let me tell you all this. Black lives do matter. I'm gonna say that, but I'm not with the fucking movement. I'm gonna be real with y'all, because it ain't our movement. It is not our movement. It has never been our movement. Again, I'm going to say black lives do matter, but the movement, bro, I am not with it. It is not us. It is not our movement, bro. You got all types of people just hashtagging. Bro, this is the shit I'm talking about, bro. We got a culture that's so willing to be down and be a part of shit, but not willing to make no fucking changes, bro. Y'all get the fuck out my face with that shit, bro. Y'all let anybody part of the pack, bro. Anybody a part of the group. That's a fucking problem, man. But anyway, man, back to it.
Adelle McComb Fraser seemed very satisfied with herself. She had done her part for the revolution today. So what did Zero Hedge and the Federalist do to deserve this, to be demonetized? Well, we asked Google, and they told us that the two sites maintain unmoderated comments sections. In other words, readers get to say what they want. Google finds this intolerable. Faced with destruction, the Federalist had no choice but to submit to Google. The site deleted its comments section entirely. No more saying what you think about articles on the Federalist.
Listen, man, anybody who knows what I'm about to say and knows what I'm talking about, you know how it was when it was, I'm gonna say, like the golden period of the internet between 2008 up until like 2012-13, where you could literally say whatever the fuck you wanted on the internet and no one had a problem. And there was no censorship. People wasn't trying to report you and send you to the fucking FBI, CIA. You could say whatever the fuck you wanted because people were allowed to exercise their First Amendment right on something that was created to do so, which is the internet. And as you can see, over time, we keep losing that right. The whole point of the internet, bro, think about it. MySpace, the whole point of MySpace was to express exactly how you felt and what you wanted to say. Anybody who had a MySpace, you know what I'm talking about. You could say whatever, post whatever, and there was no fucking problems. It wasn't until people started progressing on with time and started putting more privacy and more technically censorship. You wanted more privacy and security about the words you discussed, and now they're taking shit away from you. And here the fuck it is. Here the fuck it is.
Google has banned that now. Zero Hedge still does have comments, so it has been demonetized. We'll see if they can continue operating. All of this raises an interesting question, though. Google says it now holds conservative websites responsible for the comments of their readers. And yet, irony of ironies, thanks to a special carve-out Google has received from the United States Congress, something called Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, remember that, Google itself is not responsible for content on its platform because the Congress says it doesn't have to be. So if you're slandered by someone, for example, and that slander passes through Google servers, you cannot sue Google over it. Google is immune from the consequences. Immunity is a very nice thing to have if you're a big company. Fox News doesn't have it. But again, thanks to Congress, Google does have immunity. And that's one of the main reasons that Google's founders are some of the richest and most powerful people in the world, because Congress allowed them to be. Senator Josh Hawley pointed this out today. Let's hope he and his colleagues act soon to revoke this privilege.
And hopefully he doesn't get censored while he at it. You know what I'm saying? Google got too much power. Google got way too much power. Think about it. Google probably got your location right now. Shit. If you say, okay, Google, I guarantee something gonna happen. Let your phone be close enough. Shit, let me make sure my phone ain't doing it. Like, okay. Okay, Google. Alright, didn't pick it up, but you know what can happen. But anyway,
Google will not extend 230 protections to others. Google should not enjoy those protections itself, obviously. Google should have faced these consequences a long time ago. Congress should have done this years ago. It's been clear.
And just so y'all know, there's multiple entities that have a problem, because as you know, just a couple months ago I was telling you how Google was an issue, China was an issue, and all of this. But China and Google was working together, or China been working together, been trying to work together. You have to realize Google by itself is a dangerous entity, which is probably one of the reasons why China decided to tell these motherfuckers to get the fuck out. They have a little bit too much power. Like, just really think about the information Google has from you right now. Just take a moment to think what information that why you've seen Google in your search bar, what information have you entered? And just think about it. That is a lot of things. That is a lot of things. And anybody who's not new to the internet, who's been on this for as long as it's almost been existing, you know there was so much more competition for Google. Axe.com, Axe Jeeves, Yahoo, MSN. What else is out there? Quite a other few sites. But we don't see that anymore. It's really hard to find Google competition. Because they fucking control the internet.
For a very long time that the big tech monopolies have now surpassed the federal government as the chief threat to our liberties. Google is the most powerful company in the history of the world. It's the portal through which the bulk of our information flows.
And no, this was 3 years ago.
That means that if Google isn't on the level, neither is our understanding of the world. To an unprecedented extent, Google controls reality. Now, Google's already shown a disturbing willingness to distort reality for ideological ends.
And just so you know, this is my first year watching Fox News dedicatedly. I might have seen a clip with my grandparents been playing it. Other than that, I didn't even know that video existed until just now. So, like, the nigga been on point for a while. Google is a little bit too powerful.
And now it is happening. Google is acting directly to shape what people can say and what they're allowed to speak. It's a direct effort to stifle free speech. All of that is even truer today. So why hasn't the Congress done anything about this? Well, we'd love to ask Senator Mike Lee of Utah. We invited him on the show tonight. He would not come. We've invited him before. He would not come then. Why do we ask him? Because Lee chairs the Senate Antitrust Subcommittee. He is the man who could do something to protect you from Google. But Lee has not bothered to do that. Instead, Mike Lee repeatedly has taken the side of the big tech company.
All right, so remember that name, Mike Lee from Utah. I forgot, he say senator, congressman. I don't know. I'm not about to rewind this. Quite a long video. I'm trying to wrap this up.
Over your constitutional rights, the constitutional rights Mike Lee is sworn to uphold and protect, but refuses to. So the question is, why is Mike Lee still sitting in the United States Senate? He should not be.
Mike Lee, senator from Utah.
In the Senate, that is for sure. We are hoping Mike Lee is soundly defeated in his next primary by someone who cares about the Constitution and, more to the point, about protecting Americans from the actual threats they face. We are fervently rooting for that day. We will celebrate it when it happens. We trust it will. So how about House Republicans? Well, this spring, Congressman Doug Collins, the ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee, and Jim Sensenbrenner, the ranking member of the Antitrust Subcommittee, released a letter defending Google and the other tech monopolies from scrutiny. They attacked any investigation of the tech companies that might have, quote...
All right, I'm gonna leave it there. I can't fuck with these niggas. But anyway, basically, what I got from this video is what I already kind of knew. Google is very powerful. It's only growing powerful unless somebody puts a stop to it, and it obviously seems like Google has. Your congressmen, your senators, your politicians by the balls, and they Google doing whatever the fuck they want. They controlling what you say, they controlling what they say, they controlling what the people who are supposed to be representing you are saying. And they're also controlling you when you're trying to, you know, post the truth on YouTube, Google, whatever site happens to be ran through Google server, they cutting you off, they censoring you, and you got people who could do something about it. You gotta hold them responsible. You already know what I be on. You hold them motherfuckers responsible, and if not, you know. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Yeah, man, you like what I'm doing here? Like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna have more for you. I really do appreciate it, man.